Academy Award.
Tonight, why drinkers of red wine may be getting more than a buzz. New evidence that is good for your health.
Also ahead, Bob McKenzie attends a rave on segment 2. Dennis and I will be right back. Sex, drugs, and technopop. And among certain young people, it's all the rage. Bob McKenzie has our report.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Why are these people standing in line in the middle of the night to pay $20 apiece? Because they're going to a rave, of course. What makes a rave a rave? Why don't they just call it a dance party? Well, a rave is a dance party that starts after midnight and goes until dawn, where certain people dress a certain way and dance to a certain kind of music, and where some of those people ingest certain chemical substances. Of course, you can get different versions of what constitutes a rave.
You get a lot of crazy people coming in crazy clothes. It's kind of like a little family, you know, for the 90s, a place where people can go and hang out.
But a rave is more than just a place to hang out, wear baggy clothes, and dance till dawn. Let's start with the music. It's techno-pop, otherwise called house music, characterized by a thumping mechanical beat and by machine-made sounds. If robots played music, they'd play techno. There's an element of secrecy to raves. People find out where and when they are through word of mouth or underground computer networks. More significant, maybe, is the chemical element. For at least some of the ravers, drugs are part of the experience. And the drugs range from the heavy stuff to the lightest. People carrying balloons are probably not on a decorating committee. Balloons are a handy way to carry and breathe nitrous oxide, laughing gas. The breather gets a brief, dizzying rush. But the drug most associated with raves is ecstasy, a chemical derivative of methamphetamine that was legal until a few years ago and is now a controlled substance. We didn't see anyone take ecstasy, and we can't tell you that anyone you see here has taken it. But we were told that ecstasy and raves go together like beer and frat parties. One young woman showed us the ecstasy pills she had in her pocket, and a young couple told us that there was a lot of the drug floating around at the party.
It just makes you feel really good, and you lose all your inhibitions.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember what you just said, so it doesn't really matter what you said.
Among some young people, ecstasy has a reputation as a love drug that makes its users feel affectionate toward those around them. The song, "Love the One You're With," might have been written for ecstasy. Again, we have no evidence that any of the people you're looking at have taken the drug.
Famous people are doing drugs, kids are doing drugs, parents are doing drugs, and I think it's up to the individual, you know, who's doing drugs. They have a nice environment where they can come in, stay warm, stay off the streets, stay out of trouble.
Now, be frank with me now. Aren't a lot of those people doing drugs?
Well, sure. I'd say about half are and half aren't. No, it's a real natural high to dance with a group of people, and of course there's a lot of people that just go for the meat market aspect, but the majority are there to really just have a good time and be good to each other.
We saw no one at this rave who appeared to be sick, and there was no violence or indeed any sort of unpleasantness. But the drug ecstasy has a dark side. Some users have experienced heart palpitations, nausea, backaches, and hyperthermia, and a few have died. The long-term effects of steady use are not known. If you consider only the money involved, perhaps the best person to be at a rave is the person who produces it. A producer who works at this can do 2 or 3 raves a week. It's not unusual for a rave to take in $20,000 to $30,000 at the door alone, and the producer's advertising cost is generally about $0. In San Francisco, Bob McKenzie for segment 2.
Coming up next on the 10 o'clock.